Oleme eetris. Tere päevast, mina olen Land, Tehnikaülikooli rektor ja soovin meile kõigile nii siin Tehnikaülikooli laual kui ka kõigile osalejatele tere tulemast Tehnikaülikooli uue arengukava 2021-2025 esimesse infotundi. Ja esimene infotund sellepärast, et äsja valmis arengukava esimene versioon või variant 1, nagu me ta nimetame. Ja tuleb ka teine variant ja tuleb ka teine infotund täpselt 4 nädala pärast tänasest päevast. Ja ma kutsun teid kõiki aktiivselt osalema tänases infotunnis.
Actively participate today. We have planned 1 hour and you can send your questions by email address, or you can also ask your questions, make your proposals, comments through our chat box, which you will undoubtedly find. And today here in the festival we have all the members of the Rectorate, vice rectors, and we are here together to give a brief overview of how we have reached today, where we have version 1 of the strategy document. We have some things to be discussed, and also I would like to again invite you to participate actively. I will make a brief introduction, and I would like to tell you how we envision the document, and therefore I will give the floor to vice rectors and different vice directors and administrative director and all of them. But we should also agree to be as interactive as possible. So if you have a good idea, do not hold it back. Let it fly immediately. I hope we all agree. But as said already, we all know that we are drafting our strategic plan for years 2021-2025, which means 5 years. 5 years is a short period of time. And in fact, we have understood, everybody, that we need a longer-term vision, longer than 5 years. Because if we wish to create a future for our university, which is beneficial to the development of the society and technology at wide, then I would encourage you to think longer, take a wider and longer perspective. The process of the drafting of the strategic plan, in short, has been as follows. Firstly, our University Council presented their outputs, starting points, and what the Council saw, what should be debated, and the ball was then thrown to the Rector. According to our law, it is the Council who approves of the strategic plan, but according to our bylaws, it is the duty of the Rector to prepare the draft document, to present it to the Senate, and then it goes again to the Council. So the process and the preparation is for all of us, and for me it is very important that the process is inclusive and transparent, because we are writing this document for all of us. This is not something that is written somewhere on the 6th floor in a remote office and is kept in a drawer. So we are doing it jointly, and if we do it jointly, then we also develop a common understanding of our goals for the following years. And again, the strategy document is for all of us, and our university can be successful only if we work jointly. We formulate our vision, mission and values. The Council has suggested that we should consider the current strategic plan, the vision that is formulated there and the mission also formulated there. In our new document, we are focusing on science and technology and information. Our mission at the moment is to be the promoter of science, technology and innovation, and a leader of engineering and economic studies. We have discussed in different expert groups and also in the lead team that we should be a bit more ambitious here. Therefore, I suggest that we think a little bit more about the formulation of the mission, which, as I read out to you, is as it stands at the moment. But maybe we should modernize it a little bit, maybe refocus the formulation slightly. That would encourage a broader understanding of it. And again, I said nothing has been carved in stone yet. And this is one of my proposals that we could discuss. The strategic plan is a vision document, and this will be accompanied by an implementing plan that also covers the entire university, and this will be the basis for preparing our annual budgets. Again, repeat, this is for all of us, not only for the management. And this is the first working version. Thank you all who have contributed, people here on the stage and those behind the screens. And Maria took the lead and has dealt with it very rigorously. And this first version was drafted on the basis of the inputs of our expert groups, and the document is available in both Estonian and English. I would like to invite you to read it and to comment it. Again, there will be a second version. At the moment, we are still working on the first version, but by the 7th of December, in 3 weeks' time, according to our working plan, we should have the second version ready, which incorporates the comments and suggestions given today or given to the first version. And again, we will organize on the 14th of December another information day. What is important in our strategic plan is that we should take along the best from the previous or from the current strategic plan. We should take on board what has been working well, and we should not leave anything behind that did not work that well. We should not kind of forget about it, but we should also be able to be courageous enough and to face the lessons learned. We should not be afraid of them. Just the opposite, we should learn from them and also use these experiences in our new strategic plan. I would like to point out a few aspects from our current strategic plan that have been challenging or, let's say, problematic somewhat. And different expert groups have pointed them out, and also different fora have pointed these out. I'm not going to use alphabetical order. TalTech Digital is a major project that has played an important role in the development of the university, but certainly during the new period we should approach it differently. We should find some new content to the project. There have been discussions on that, and discussions are still upcoming. Secondly, research and development and its management and implementation. Let's face it, there have been delays. Why? We should be able to understand where the obstacles are, where the hindrances are, and if we understand them, then we can overcome those obstacles. We have taken certain steps, and Maria definitely is ready to expand on that. This is a very important aspect. And also the financing of our development projects and feedback, synchronizing projects, expectancies. Well, again, we could call them lessons learned or then challenges. And last but not less important is to open our financial regulation. And we are planning to do it already this year before we approve our strategic plan, its final version or its final draft, so to the Senate, and the Senate will then forward it to the Council. And this financial regulation, its impact analysis or prognosis, and this is something that has been in the air also since my elections, to set up a grant fund. And during those 2.5 months where we have been drafting the strategic plan, and the Rectorate has met with all departments, all colleges, and financial regulations. This is a document that I believe needs to be opened, and that will be done already this year. And everybody has the opportunity to speak, to have a say, and once again, the drafting of the strategic plan has to be as open as possible. And already this week, we will have another seminar this week on the 19th and the 20th of November. Everybody can participate through Teams. The expert groups are continuing their work. They're working on the vision, the mission, and implementing plan. And we will also announce an essay competition, University Without Borders, the best opportunity of Estonia. And all university people, students, workers are invited, our partners, visionaries, philosophers. We are not sending anybody back. All ideas are welcome. And this competition will be announced already this week. And separately, there will be information hours to our staff, students, alumni. The forum is open, so please use it. And to sum up my speech here, the final strategic plan should be ready by January, on the 21st of January. We have planned the adoption of the documents. Of course, it will previously be approved by the Senate on the 21st of January 2021. We are planning a big development or strategy conference, which is targeted at our external partners. As said, once again, a strategic document is for all of us, but also it's for the Estonian society. With this, I would like to end my introduction, and I would like to give the word to Maarja Kruusmaa. Thank you, Tiit. Since Tiit mentioned the forum where you can express your opinions, I would like to thank everybody, because many people have already expressed their opinions there as concerns research and research management. And the discussions have been very active there. This has been very helpful to me because I have been able to take on board some of the ideas. And I also hope that this discussion has helped you, because when you talk between yourselves, you are able, hopefully, to clarify things, and you can then balance and your arguments and use arguments in the best way. And therefore, I'm really pleased that this is happening in our virtual environment. With a few words, I would like to tell you about the first version of the strategic plan and why it is what it is, as you can see, what was sent to you. This strategic plan is a strategic communication document. It states what we want to be as a university in 5 years' time, or as Tiit also mentioned, even beyond 5 years. This is really a forward-looking document. And the second aim of the strategic plan in terms of communication, it has to be understandable both inwards and outwards. When we take an inward look, maybe it seems that we are talking about very easy, simple things, and we use very simple language to talk about it. But this may not be the case to a person who has a look from the outside. This document has to be understandable to our strategic partners, policymakers, other universities. It should be understandable to also our student candidates, to their parents whose offspring is planning to come here. They open the strategic plan and they understand what the school is like, where they are going to send their daughters and sons. So the choice of words and the style has been affected by these considerations. Tallinn University of Technology is the only technology university in Estonia. There are no more technology universities in Estonia, which means that we are the ones where one can study technology at university level, and this makes us a research university. And this entire strategic plan is based on this scientific framework, but secondly, it also takes into account the two other missions of the university. We have three important missions: research, study, and society, contributing to the society. So the document has been drawn up in such a way so as to put equal emphasis to all these three missions. The common theme here is that all these missions have to be interlinked. When we talk about research, base science, applied sciences, innovation, they all should be interlinked so that they give input to each other, and different research groups could be of help to each other, should empower each other. We have taken a look at the existing strategic plan. There are some things that maybe are not relevant today, for example, the structure of letters and some such things that are not relevant anymore. However, all the important items I hope we have included and taken aboard. The strategic plan is not ready yet. We still need your input, your opinion, and therefore I would like to outline some themes or some topics that I remember when drafting the document, which I hope I can solve or improve. The first one is a bit contradictory, and this is our brand, TalTech. We have adopted or acknowledged it to some extent. It is working. However, it has also created some reluctance. And now this is your and our joint decision how we should connect the university with the brand mark. This is something that we can do in the strategic plan or in the implementing plan. We now state that TalTech is a brand name. If you want to discuss, then now it's the right time, the right place to discuss it. And exactly in this way, like we have done in the forum so far. The current strategic plan also listed our values. Did we have? Yeah, we have 6 values. They come in pairs. But when I asked about the values from our staff, I think nobody has been able to list them. So value-based management maybe has not taken root the way we wanted, or the values are not ringing the way they were expected to ring. So therefore, we suggested a different approach. We took out our slogan, Mente et Manu, and we created our values around this slogan, Mente et Manu. And if you think that they are somewhat too general, or the slogan also is a bit too general, then my expectations were, when writing the document, that our staff is able to provide content to the slogan and to the values, and to also leave some room for interpretation. My personal understanding is that the values should not be formulated so that you have to be cooperative, you have to work hard. We are all thinking critically, we are all thinking creatively, and all of us are able to give a somewhat different meaning to the sentence. But then again, there is a certain common basis. But this is also for discussion. Please give us feedback. The new strategic plan also describes in brief the vision of the campus. And again, this has derived from value-based approach. Namely, our university should be as climate efficient and digital and green revolution. These are the topics with which we have to live the next 10, 20, 50 years. TalTech Digital, likewise, Dieter mentioned that we should actually take it into bits once again and give it some kind of new content. It's a good initiative, and we should see how to make it work properly. And the last bigger topic is organizational culture. Our current strategic plan does not say anything about our organizational culture. And this theme has been brought into the new strategic plan in terms of how we want to be perceived, how we want to see ourselves in 5 years' time. So please, again, help us think how you would like to see the university family. And therefore, we can adjust the strategic plan accordingly. Yes, Dietland has a question. The strategic plan, you, as Maria is responsible to the quality of research carried out here, then, but this first version that we have in front of us, we emphasize the quality of our research. Should we talk so much about it, or maybe it's something per se, or maybe we should not talk about it, because it's self-evident that we should provide high-quality science. This is a good question. In fact, you are right. When we are a research university, we should not talk, we should not even doubt that we have high-quality research. This is self-evident, but again, when we state it, then it may have a reference that sometimes our research is not of high quality. When we talk about professorships or doctoral theses, then 80% of the time we talk about minimum requirements. And this somewhat reflects the fact that we have issues. Why we are talking about minimum requirements, whether we qualify on the basis of the minimum requirements, and that we always emphasize how to be better. In this context, I think we should talk about quality. Let's talk about quality until we don't have to talk about it anymore. I hope this time will come shortly. Thank you, Maria. And Henrik. And study expert group, and you have some interesting thoughts. Thank you, Dietz, and university family. In my short presentation, I would like to focus on 5 points. First of all, I would like to talk about future universities, or else what our university is planning to do in 5 years' time. We plan to do better so as to get good, motivated students. In 2022, there will be a new secondary school, state-owned school, where there will be about 1,100, 1,200 students. So it means there will be 10 parallel grades in years 10 to 12. And we plan to contribute, and we want this to be a stepping stone to our university. We have formed a working group. Hanno Tomberg, who is leading this project, Aivar Uutor, who wants to integrate the new school to our campus, and we are actively negotiating with the Ministry of Education and Research. Our dream is that maybe there could be also 10 specializations in our focus areas. We are taking it very seriously, and hopefully something very exciting comes out of it. And certainly in the coming 5 or even more years, we plan to contribute actively into Olympiads. We have very high expectations and hopes that the state of Estonia will distribute financing more equally to encourage motivated, talented future students. We want to expand the area of Olympiads. We would like to expand in IT and economy, but also in other areas, so that IT for young ladies, girls, robotics also, but all focus areas should be covered. To ensure the satisfaction of our students and our staff, we need to work hard. And one of the first things that we need to do is to evaluate, to appreciate the work of our lecturers. We have another working group which is analyzing our career model. And as a vice rector in academic matters, I believe that this career model is an issue. Currently, it will be revised, and in the management, we would like to ensure that people, our staff who is contributing wholeheartedly, that their work is acknowledged, appreciated. Also, the matrix of academic grading should be revised. It's not transparent enough as it is. We would like to reorganize it and improve it. We have a separate working group which is dealing with that. Also, we continue to contribute to the training so that all beginner lecturers could go through high-quality trainings. This is focused to new starting people, but not only new people, but also our current lecturers should feel that this is something good, something useful. I would like to enroll myself and learn something. One thing that I have realized over the past 3 years is that to deal with the continuing education of lecturers is somewhat complicated. So the faculties themselves should support this continuing education of their lecturers based on the specifics of the area. We plan to create a center of didactics in each faculty and in each institute. And in IT, it has launched very well. One big mission we have been discussing at great length is to combine studies and research, to synchronize these two. Our studies have to be more science research-based. We wish that each curriculum or the major subject has professors who are teaching at different study levels. Of course, the volume of their engagement is different, but we should focus on increasing the share of professors, but as well as the engagement and the number of lecturers with doctorate degrees. We have long said that we have lost generations, that those who graduated in the 90s, they went into business. They did not strive to become academicians and do their doctorate thesis. I think this time has passed, or is passing, or has passed, and we want to engage lecturers with doctorate theses, and we would also like to encourage our own alumni to come back here and contribute to studies. How exactly this could be done? Well, we could have guest lecturers and maybe entrepreneurial professorships. So these terms have to be elaborated, but really top practitioners, our own alumni who come back and contribute to the study work. I believe this is something that we wish to deal with. If people are expecting me to mention the word reform, then perhaps the most dreaded subject, what happens to curricula, are they going to be cut down, 74 curricula, and well, we have not set any figures, but we wish to make the quality indicators more transparent, because naturally the world is developing. There are new areas, new ideas constantly coming in. And if, for example, you want to open a new curriculum, we want to make it as transparent as possible. If we can open a new curriculum, and should we then close something else? Because probably we are not in the position to expand or increase the number of curricula, but we don't want to put a full stop to every new good idea. And undoubtedly, e-learning, e-studies, we would like to reach a new level. During the previous period, we have had this TalTech digital e-studies. We had this initiative that each compulsory subject should have also compulsory e-support, and quite a number of subjects have got this e-support. This is a good practice, And I believe that this has been pioneering work to reach even higher goals. And now I believe that many lecturers have discovered that I want to develop in this e-studies, because this is what life forces us. We want to support these ideas. Is it totally contact-free, or how we could improve and facilitate? It's lost my sense of time. But thank you, Henrik. We will move on to Sven, entrepreneurial. What good thoughts you had? Thank you. When the previous speaker mentioned that we are a research university, then I would like to say that we are also an entrepreneurial university. Well, one doesn't exclude the other. Therefore, I said it's also an entrepreneurial university, and there are also three pillars, founding pillars, the third being contributing to the society. And this can be done through working together with entrepreneurs. But our working group has tried to develop a joint vision and formulate it, and we want the university to offer top-notch research and to environments, to the public sector in Estonia and abroad. And the aim is to help Estonian enterprises to become high technology entrepreneurs. And to this end, we can provide support in taking into use new technologies. And this, as Maria mentioned already, we are the only university of technology. And therefore, this is our big task, to help Estonian companies with high technology and to make them in this way more competitive. We are providing support in digital and green revolutions. Secondly, we are also actively passing the research results into the society. We are talking about spin-offs, or in other words, startups that are based on the knowledge gained in the university. We are active in those spin-offs and startups, and we support these businesses by offering them infrastructure, counseling, and also starting financing as a university and also jointly with our partners. And thirdly, this entrepreneurial university means that we support Estonia's competitiveness through our alumni. We offer top-level education, but at the same time also very good entrepreneurial studies. And the aim is to promote entrepreneurial culture in the university. I talked about Estonia, like America first, but naturally we regard it very important to cooperate with international technology-extensive companies, which enables us to develop our own science and give our results into use all over the world. And in this way we can be of service to the society globally. And these three topics can be formulated in such a way that we are working actively with the scope and the quality of entrepreneurial contracts. And if, again, we think about our aims and goals, the scope has been 10 to 15 million a year in recent years. I hope we can increase it, but I would like to emphasize here that we should also take into account that we are doing such development work and research that is necessary to these companies. It's not that we increase our income, but more importantly, the companies have added value, and the value is not like 10 million for us, but the companies increase their turnover and the profits by tens and maybe even millions of euros. This is our contribution to the Estonian society and also globally. And secondly, spin-offs and startups. Yes, indeed, it has been said that to pass or transfer research results to the society, then one option is to be more active. The universities have to be more active and to help to found those new companies so that those good ideas will not be stored on shelves here in the university. And thirdly, to support entrepreneurship through our alumni and through our high-level entrepreneurial studies. We all sense here that entrepreneurial cooperation is important, and this is valued also in the academic career. When Henrik mentioned this assessment matrix, evaluation matrix, and that should also take more into account. And therefore, in short, this is all from me, those three areas where we have thought about our plans. Thank you, Sven. In your expert group, when you developed these ideas, did you add also numbers? So how many spin-offs should we have in 5 years' time? Do you have any numbers to give, any figures? Yes. At the moment, we have a list of 14 spin-offs. And in one of them, university has a small share. And my proposal to our university family, or let's say the proposal from our work group, that maybe we should move in this direction, that every year several new companies are founded on the basis of our research results, so that in 5 years' time we have at least 30 companies which are connected and which have been founded on the basis of our research results, and the university should have a share in them. When there were recommendations to think in, let's say, 15-year perspective, then we probably could say that technology company known to everybody has been started here in our university, and it's just worth hundreds of millions, and why not have a share in this company? Okay, this is a source of money for us. 10 billion. Did you hear this number? Yeah, well, Ivar needs another 5 million, but Josep was leading the fourth work group. Yeah, administrative support services. I would like to thank everybody who participated in the work group, and there were clearly more than those listed only. And those support services are very different in their nature. But here, to sum them up, we should focus on the main principles that were agreed and that could be for all of us. Maybe one very important thing is that in order to develop these support services, we should take more into consideration the needs of our academic and the expectations of our academic staff and students. We should face more towards our client. We should take their needs into account. Of course, there are a number of methods that could be implemented in order to make the services more available, user-friendlier. And again, this is something that has been discussed and researched how to design those services. We also plan to work closely together with our academic family, and we want to be the best in our area. We are constantly seeking more reasonable solutions in order to improve our work. These are the prerequisites in order for the user to understand what is being offered, what is the scope, and one of the first steps that has to be taken is that we should agree upon standards. And services work well if they are not visible. We get feedback mostly when the services are not very good. Money always is very important in terms of how much we can spend on certain things, and all these services have to be as cost-effective as possible. Our colleagues outside our Mustamäe campus are often concerned or often worried that they would like to reach the same quality of services. And this is an important indicator what we should take into account, so that those support services are similar here and also in our further working places. Digital solutions and TalTech Digital, I'm pleased to say that if today the management agrees that we should move forward with digital solutions, of course, we have a number of opportunities ahead of us. But at the same time, the important foundation has already been created. We have a number of services there which earlier was not available, like data storage. This is a big step forward, and we can work effectively together with all parties. Thank you. Ivar, if you could get 5% out of this 5 million. But yes, in fact, I would like to present my story somewhat differently. And my story is as follows. Let's imagine that we are in year 2038. It's a nice autumn day, and we are celebrating our 120th anniversary. The president is making a speech, and the president says in front of everybody, "Now it is clear, smart Estonians saved the world." And the president will continue. This is how you have combined in your campus innovation, new technological solutions, and all the multitude of opportunities that we experienced in connection with corona pandemic 20 years ago. All this climate warming horrors, and you all managed, and you implemented this good research in your own campus, and you transferred it to the society. This is the acknowledgement. This is a proof that the university has lived up to its expectations. The audience is happily whispering. We all remember how it all started. Our researchers and our staff has it in their bones, in their bloods. They want to be ahead of tomorrow. They want to do something with their hand, with their mind. This is what is in our blood. And now, in year 2038, looking back, we remember that in 2020, in autumn, when we were drafting another strategic plan, and we had a long-term vision, a forecast, then most people in the society did not know what digital revolution was, what green revolution was. Somebody was saying something critical, circular economy, but we said we shall combine it all, and we shall say it will be climate savviness or climate smartness. And this was the basis, and from this basis we started to develop a strategy of our real estate, and that is a very important part of our strategic plan. Maybe Aivar should take on the lead in putting together our strategic plan. Maybe I missed something because you remain silent. Maybe we should give the money to you. Tauno has his own piggy bank. Let's break the piggy and let's spend it all. Thank you, Aivar, for this inspiring presentation. I think the pause that was created on the stage, I think it is very relevant because we are thinking big, we are thinking these thoughts with our staff and university family. And we certainly are going to implement these plans, but as a financial manager, I have to ask, where does the money come from? Well, I know it's the piggy bank. Of course, in the theater, if there is a weapon on the stage, then it has to shoot. But, of course, we need to take a look back. Dear colleagues, dear students, if you remember, it was only recently, a year or two ago, when a lot of information, documents, all kinds of things, everything was on paper. And now, over the past years, we have worked hard to simplify our everyday procedures, to digitalize them. And I would sincerely want to thank everybody that together we have managed to break through. It has been a huge task. But what will the future bring? And Aivar described the perspective of 20 years. Then we need to ask ourselves, where does money come from in order to implement those big plans? And dear colleagues, I also have the answer. I know, it's a piggy bank. No, it does not come from the piggy bank. It comes from the wall. No, maybe from the wall. But let's say this is the general budget of the university. And this is a noise. There's something in it, well, bitcoins, perhaps. But this general budget is tiny. And with those state financing, we cannot only rely on that. And dear colleagues, I would like to approach all of you here and now. We have big challenges ahead of us, but they are also opportunities. New funds are opening, new financing period is about to start. And this is a few years perspective, and our ambitional projects are there. And the answer, where does money come from, is very simple. Our study work, our research work, our entrepreneurial work, our serving the society, we should think it through so that when we start writing a new project, then we should always think about the dreams of Aivar, how to build a new campus, how to renew our existing facilities, or do something entirely new that we can even verbalize today. And this has to be integrated with research-based studies, and we should write our big dreams and wishes into our projects. And this should be part of our everyday work as of tomorrow. The rector mentioned that we should open the financial regulations. Let's do it. We have some initial ideas already on paper, and maybe within a month, on the 24th of December, on the 24th of this, well, the 25th is a nice quiet day to read it. And yes, this year in December we will have our first discussions, but this financial regulation, this in itself does not bring us more money. It has to give us better playing rules, and we should revise our existing rules. We should create a grant fund to help our scientists. This is what we are planning to do. However, once again, but to rely only on this financial regulation brings the money home, well, it's not good enough. We have to be active and good ourselves. And these are the thoughts that have been echoed in our financial work group, and have also found approval that the new strategic plan of the university, we have to ask how much will it cost, how much will the implementation of the strategic plan cost, and where will the money come? And one answer, one solution was given. So let's bring the money home. We have 4 minutes left, and we have a few questions also. Professor Olav Mertens, thank you, all of you, who have provided their questions. On the one hand, base science, and on the other hand, it should be also applied science. Olav's question is on the screen. Maybe I should take another look at the wording of the strategic plan. It's not that we are only doing research here, or that we're only focusing on base studies or base science. It is accompanied by applied science, which has to be good applied science. Applied science is is as good as space science is. So we don't want to. Base science results have to be transferred to entrepreneurship. And the words innovation, patent, we have not avoided these words. Maybe innovation, inventions. Are we patenting something? Well, maybe this is a matter for the implementing plan, intellectual property, and so on and so forth. I think I have nothing against emphasizing entrepreneurship as much as possible, but the implementation plan already has a long list of items. And Antti Ainamaa has a question. This question goes to Sven. The question is about unicorns. What is the meaning of this unicorn in our context? Yes, I can see the question on the screen, but how are you commenting that PipeDrive is now already the 5th Estonian unicorn, and what meaning does it have to the university? This is exactly what I was talking about. Estonian economy, the structure of it is changing. high technology companies are in forefront, and we have the possibility to contribute also directly, helping to found spin-offs. But also we can contribute in the way that we give our students an entrepreneurial mindset. We provide very good education, and our alumni will go out and create new serious technology companies. And as said previously, who knows, maybe we can ourselves be part of one or more successful companies, partners or shareholders. More importantly, we need to contribute to the founding and creation of such companies. Also, we have a few more questions, and one question to Mariam. Which focus areas are the most important? Aivar said, well, our focus areas, smart environments, this is a very important focus area, but also those focus areas that are listed in our academic development plan. They're all important, which doesn't mean that we could also open this topic and take another look where we would like to contribute. How does Tallinn Technical University position itself in the world? This is also somehow connected to the previous question. Naturally, we have said, and Aivar said, that we are the best university in the world. There's no doubt about it. Was it the Estonian president? That was the president of the world that said that we are the best university of the world. Technical university, that is. But this perhaps is not even a vague ambition if we set the focuses very well. We probably cannot be the best in everything, but we can choose some spheres where we can be pioneers and where we can set examples. Question is, Tallinn Technical University is based not only in Tallinn, but in other regional areas, in colleges all over Estonia. Yes, the university has historically had colleges, and we are going to maintain them, but we should again rethink the role of those colleges when they were created now, even 20 or more years ago. And the times were different. Now times have changed, particularly Virumaa College. It is very important to see that they can position themselves or in other words, the colleges are important for the university. But I myself and vice rectors and the ministry also says that those colleges in regions should probably cooperate more with other universities. We should also engage universities which do not have colleges. In Finland, for example, there are regional competency centers, and one university can take part in more than one consortium. And in that sense, we are also moving forward. We are providing education studies. We contribute to the development of local governments, but we are also, in a way, competency centers. And I believe that the person who asked this question should not be worried. So we are valuing colleges. One more question. When we look ahead in 5 years' time, what will have changed the most? Aivar, I think in 5 years' time we will have a different environment. This is only obvious. Because when you take a look at the ambition that we have experienced today and the orders that the society is giving us, it's not written anywhere, but we need to be pioneers. And where else to test things we can test here. Thank you. And I would like to clarify that the university's face has changed internally, that we look at each other, we cooperate more. Thank you very much to all of these here on stage and all the followers. And I would like to wish everybody, please actively contribute. Please use the forum. We are not going to close it. And certainly I would like to invite you to participate in the essay competition, which is also a unique event.